NBA Straya, how are you going? Hey, yeah. Basketball, give me the ball, cause I wanna dunk it. Yeah, that's right. It is NBA Straya. 2GIF, am I right? It's Friday, November 21. I'm about 45 minutes away from deleting some tins. I'm your host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour Studios, and Dante Exum is done for the season. Oh, god damn it. Right. Every Dante bit. Anyway, we'll talk about this in the news. It sucks. Hey, we're going to do the Week 5 power rankings this week. We're going to go through all 30 teams, basically see where we're at, which team is going to beat the next one down, right? That kind of vibe. So it's going to be a fun one. We'll wrap up the 4 games very quickly from today with the awards. That's on the night. Mate, no mate, Spud on the night, better than Lonzo Ball. We've got Magic Tweet of the Week, Dickhead of the Week, of course, as well. Yeah, Nars got a great rash of listener Yeah Nars today as well as an Outback Takehouse with a flame grilled take. And of course, an Andrew Gay's Great MAMBA Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence before a big look at the NBA Cup schedule for tomorrow and the rest of the weekend ahead. So, fun one. Let's get into it. Episode 1322. 1322. Happy Ashes Day to all who celebrate. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Darcy Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
You better. You better watch out for the latest injury attack if you are Dante Exum. Let's start there. The daily whip around. This one's just sad, right? Dante Exum. So he had a bit of off-season surgery on his knee, basically looking at sort of what was going on. And yeah, he never sort of like recovered properly and was never practicing properly with the Mavs. Apparently, they were sort of hoping that he'd get back to practice. And it turns out they sort of kept looking at it, it needs more surgery. It just sucks. Like, it felt like this year was the perfect year for Dante Exum as well. He's exactly what this iteration of the Mavs need without Kyrie Irving. He's like the perfect Kyrie Irving backup. Speedy point guard, point of attack, pace. You can push the ball if you need to. You can get out in transition, give you a little bit of defense. He's got a bit of size, and nope. Another injury. So if you sort of go back through all of his seasons as well, like all of them have been truncated essentially by some sort of injury, except for his rookie year when it's crazy to think his rookie year, he played 82 games for the Jazz and has never played a full suite since. It's brutal, right? 14 games in 17, 18, 42, 35, 11, 24, 6, goes over to Europe, comes back 55, 20, and 0. It just, the amount of like obvious talent that he has, and so much of this, he's now 29 years old. He can still get back. Like I did see a bunch of comments, it's him done in the NBA. Yeah, nah, look, if he can recuperate from this and actually sort of get back up to speed, get his health back, look, never say never. I think he can make it back. Of course, he could just come and play in the NBL and hang out. That'd be fun. But by the same token, I'd rather he stay in the NBA just because that's way more fun. Anyway, that sucks for the Mavs fans, and it obviously sucks for Dante Exum. So, look, hopefully the recovery process is easy and he gets a full off-season. We'll see how he goes. Brutal news. The other one was Domantas Sabonis, the Souvlaki King. Oh, yeah, I love the combination meat. Go easy on the lettuce. Extra tomato. Thanks, Domantas. Cheers, mate. He's out 3 to 4 weeks with an MCL tear. Obviously not a big one, not too crazy, but this is also brutal for a Kings team that already sucks, right? To lose, I mean, you've got DeMar DeRozan and like just Levine and Rusty Westbrook. Like it's a mishmash, horrible team put together by a bunch of dummies over there in Sacramento who went, hey, should we remake that crappy like Bulls team from a couple of years back? And someone said, yes. Idiots. Anyway, so yeah, just another punch in the guts for the poor Kings fans, which, I mean, at this point, they're just a punching bag. Like, Doug Christie, I've already mentioned, he's just got to be gone. He sucks. What are you doing? The Bus Brothers are out in LA. How's this one? So you've got Joey and Jesse Buss. So, sons of former Lakers owner Dr. Jerry Buss. Brothers of Jeannie Buss. You got all these buses floating around. They're gone, which is pretty funny because you know how the Lakers got sold? Right? So their new head honcho in charge of the Lakers is right, these little twerps have got to go. So pretty funny. Enjoyed that. Mark Walter has literally walked in and go, what are these idiots doing? They're probably like sitting there like Tommy Boy, like a bunch of dummies of just like punching on, like wearing suspenders and like no shirt, like that kind of vibe, right? Just a pair of dummies. And he's like, why are they here? And someone's gone, well, you see, Mark Walter, that's the alternate governor and vice president of research and development, Joey Buss, and Jesse Buss, that's the assistant GM. And he's like, the fuck they are, get out. I love that. So fare thee well. And I don't know, just wanted to quickly point out before we go into these game wraps, it's a disaster for the Clippers at the moment. I've been sort of banging on about it the last couple of weeks. They owe their pick to the Oklahoma City Thunder, who might be the greatest team of all time. Seriously, they've won one game this month. They're 1-9 this month. They're 4-12? It is absolutely a disaster for the Clips. 4-11. They're horrible. They've got a -6 point differential. They're super old. I called this before the season. I'm like, I hate their sort of profile. Yes, you got John Collins and stuff like that, but geez, they've sort of somehow moved away from Zoobs. Brooke Lopez is cooked. But you've got this weird sort of situation where they owe their first round of next year to OKC. They'll swap likely in 27 with OKC as well. They owe their 28 first rounder to Philly, and then the 29 one is a swap with Philly as well. They are horrible and don't own their pick until 2030. That's pretty bad. Just saying. Right, let's do some game wraps from today. The Clippers got absolutely smashed by the Magic, 129-101. Suggs hits some threes. The Magic win. That's how that goes. They went 18-34 from downtown, the Magic. That's awesome. I've been saying this for a couple of days now as well. Like, without Paolo, they sort of like, the Magic have this weird sort of superpower where you could almost say it's a magic power, Jim. You could. Where one of their stars goes out, they have like a little bit of a period where they adjust and then they're okay. And then if you knock, it's like a weird Jenga tower. If you knock one more piece out, though, it all falls over. So at the moment, they've got Desmond Bain, Suggs, and Franz Wagner playing really, really well. And they do, like, Bain didn't shoot that great today. It didn't matter. They still kicked the crap out of this old-ass Clippers team. Clips just atrocious. Harden got them off to an awesome start, and they still just stunk and got curb stomped. So did the Sacramento Kings by the Memphis Hustle. Not even the Grizzlies. 127-96. That's the biggest loss this season. And the Memphis Hustle started Vince Williams, Santi Aldama, Cedric Coward, Jalen Wells, and Zach Edey. Yeesh. And the Kings got straight killed.
So he got straight killed.
That's embarrassing. Philly-Milwaukee was the only good game today. 123-114. The Sixers win in overtime. Maxey was absolutely off his head. We'll get to that in a second. Awesome game from Ryan Rollins. Kuzma was everywhere as well. Really fun. Back and forth. Sixers on a back-to-back. That's why we picked him. Just figured they'd have a little bit too much, and mostly it was just Maxey. And then finally, the San Antonio Banderas Spurs held off Nicky Alexander-Walker and his Hawks. Nor had 38. It was crazy. 135-126 Spurs win. Atlanta, they got the Extreme Zinger Meal back.
Extreme Zinger Meal.
And it's sort of like every time he sort of comes back, they just go off their feed completely. It's very odd. They look confused, discombobulated, especially like Dyson Daniels and Zachary Rissache, right? It's very strange. But anyway, great win for the Spurs. Keldon Johnson was fantastic. De'Aaron Fox, it sort of pays to be like, well, we don't need De'Aaron Fox. We've got Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle. They both go out after Wemby's out as well. Well, I mean, obviously Harper went out before all that, but you get Fox back. You're like, well, we've still got a star guard who's awesome. And you're like, well, this is okay then, isn't it? Yeah, that's a good win. Let's do an NBA Straya pre-performance of the night.
That's not that nice. That's a knife.
Pretty bloody easy today. Tyrese Maxey had 54. He was absolutely off his head. They couldn't stop him. 18 to 30 from the floor. Completely carried this Sixers team. Paul George was actually surprisingly good in the game too. So was VJ Edgecombe. But Paul George being good again, you're like, whoa, look out. But Maxey had 54. Drops a 50 burger in Milwaukee. 54 points on 18 to 30 shooting. 6 of 15 from 3. 12 of 14 on the line. 9 assists, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, and 3 blocks. Bloody hell. That is absolutely absurd gear. So I think, look, 23 in the first half and then just got them over the line. It was really back and forth, this Milwaukee game. He just went, right, I'm wearing this really sick, radical Allen Iverson jersey, the throwbacks. How about we just play like AI? Bit efficient. And turns out that's a really good idea. He was absolutely incredible. He was just a blur most of the times. There's like 5 players in the NBA where if you just put the ball in their hands and go, right, get us a win tonight, you can kind of trust them. And Maxey's in that 5, right? I think it's Jokic, probably Luka, maybe Giannis and SGA, and Maxey I think has got to be up there. I'm just like, hey, we need to win. It was awesome. He is absolutely off his head. How about Spud of the night, though?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Spud of the night. I am Dennis Schroeder. I am German Rondo. 0 of 8. So he holds the record so far this season, does Dennis Schroeder, for 0 of 10. He went and had a crack at it today. Barely played in the fourth quarter. Ends up 0 of 8 after starting 0 of 7. Yeah. The Kings go, well, we've got Dennis Schroeder. We're going to be all right. Nah, we need Russell Westbrook. Completely killed Dennis Schroeder, who is only kind of good if you just go, hey, Dennis, you're just the dude doing the thing. And he's like, okay, this is very good, yeah. And off he goes. Just think of World Cup Dennis Schroeder, Olympic Dennis Schroeder. Just let him do his thing. You might not win that many games, but he won't be shit. But instead, he's shit. And Zachary Risacheo went 1 of 10 today for the Hawks as well. Yeah, that's pretty bad, bro. It's pretty bad, isn't it? So that was a bit rough. He went 0 of 5 from 3 as well. But my favorite one today was Wendell Carter Jr. because he went and shot. Woo! He shot 311. Thank you, Wendell. That is very, very awesome of you because you rock. Appreciate it. Who's old mate, no mates today?
Old mate, no mates. Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Who's got no mates today? That would be the Bus Brothers. The amount of jokes being made about their dumbasses sort of being fired as soon as the new Lakers ownership sort of took over, in any way, shape, or form. They literally just walked through the office, went, wait, nah, those dudes have got to go. Mark Walter is just like, seriously, I've been putting up with this for too long as a minority owner. They're out the door. I'll walk them out myself. I'll pack their bags. They're being sent to work with packed lunches anyway, most likely. But anyway, good job by them. It's been funny just to see getting rid of fail sons who are in their cushy jobs purely because of their family name. I love nothing more than that. That is absolutely unreal. There's definitely old mate, no mates as well, because you know that if they were good at their jobs, they would probably still have those jobs. You know what I'm saying? Oh, God. Pantsing of the night. Obviously, the Clippers and the Kings both getting absolutely and shamelessly, utterly pants today. On the road, this is the time of year as well. So you're just before Thanksgiving in the States. It's sort of you're, 5 weeks into the season, focus starts to waver. And if you're a good team, you sort of come together and you sort of try to figure this shit out. And if you're a bad team, the bottom can fall out pretty fucking quickly. And we're seeing exactly that with this Clippers team and the Kings teams, where they're just they don't look like they fit together in any way, shape, or form. When you watch their games, you're like, who fucking put this team together? And who's coaching it? And why is it just such a fucking dog's breakfast? The Clippers you can explain because they don't have Kawhi Leonard, but at the same time, you never have Kawhi Leonard. So why would you assume you would, right? So I'll go James Harden. Then, well, what's gone wrong with the Harden-Zoobs pick and roll? It's crazy. So we've got Brook Lopez. How is this just not happening and working better together? It makes very little sense. They both got pantsed. And that Kings team getting killed by a Grizzlies team that's starting a rookie in Cedric Howard, another dude, Zach Edey, who's in his second year, Jalen Wells in his second year. You've got Santi Aldama as the Super X and Vince Williams, a G Leaguer. That's wildly pantsing. Like, that's the school dacking you. Unbelievable gear. Better than Lonzo Ball, Bronny James, and Ben Simmons today.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Jock Landale, 21-6. Yo, beauty. It's amazing that he's hit way more threes in his career than Ben Simmons ever did. Unbelievable. But my favorite today was obviously Ryan Rollins. What a game. Career high 32 points, 14 assists rather. Career high as well. 6 rebounds, shoots 13-26. He was unreal. And like, the Ryan Rollins story is amazing so far this season, because if Giannis was healthy, you'd be just like, yes, this is like the perfect sort of like role-playing complementary guard. And boom, off he goes. Like, they've not missed KPJ in any way, shape, or form. If they had Giannis back, they'd be laughing. But Ryan Rollins, 32, 14, and 6. What a game. Honorable mention as well here, Vince Williams against Sacramento. He had 15 assists and 4 points. That's the first Grizzly since White Chocolate, Jason Williams, to have 15-plus assists and under 5 points in a game. That is unreal. What about everyone's favorite Magic tweet of the week? Michigan State's victory over Kentucky last night was impressive because they dominated the boards. Defensively, MSU was more physical than the Wildcats, and they shared the basketball offensively. Last but not least, MSU's point guard Jeremy Fears Jr. did a great job of controlling the tempo of the game in the 83-66 win. What do we say? Thanks, Magic. And finally, Dickheads of the Week.
Dickhead of the Week!
I mean, Draymond, it turns out Draymond got up in that, the Pelicans fan's face. And there was still nothing better because he stood up and like the Pelicans fan was massive. And Draymond's like, wait a minute. But apparently that Pelicans fan was calling Draymond Angel Reese. That's fucking A, funny as shit. B, the fact that you're big, you can get away with it. And C, why the fuck is Draymond getting upset? Don't call me Angel Reese. What, one of the most popular and best women's basketball, is it? Nah, it's a lot of me bounds in that one, I reckon. So he got a bit upset about that. But at the same time, you know, Draymond's old and he's shit. So here we are, sucked in. But my biggest dickheads of the week has got to go to Michael Porter Jr. and Lonzo Ball. Why are we giving microphones to fucking idiots? Because that's what, like, Michael Porter Jr. might be the dumbest motherfucker who's, like, walked the planet. And that's saying a lot. I've met some fucking dummies in my time. And MPJ is right up there because he's just got like that sheer self-belief of dumb fuckery that you're like, oh, no, look, hey, man, look, we're going to call it like it is, you know. We've got to be like, look, we've got to tell the truth. And it's like, yeah, I was kicking ass like over like women's college basketball players when I was in 8th grade. And everyone's like, wait a minute, you actually weren't. It's like, yeah, I was like beating Sophie Cunningham. It's like, what? None of these ages line up when you're telling these stories. So Lonzo would be like, oh, I'd be like Michael Jordan against the WNBA as if I was in like 9th grade. And you're like, all right, Lonzo, yeah, sure. And then, Michael Porter Jr. is like, yeah, man, like when I was in 8th grade, I was beating all these college women's players. Like I was used on practice squad and shit. And you're like, all right. Yeah, sure. This just screams, like the weirdest part about this is how it's always like dumb fuck role players who are like, nah, man, I'd like kick the ass of like all of these like women's players and shit. And it's never like Kevin Durant or LeBron or Steph. It's always these dumb fucks who are like, nah, I'm way better than women. It's like, all right, dipshit. Good job, fuckhead. Anyway, good stuff there. So, yeah, you guys win absolute fucking morons of the week. How's that one? All right, let's come back with some yeah nahs, some listener yeah nahs, and the power rankings right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Daryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
and you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
Hey, all right, let's do it. Time for some yeah nahs, brought to you by you. That's right, you can sign up, shout us a beer, shout us a tin, buy us a coffee, basically. Buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. You can, like, the links are in our show description, in our bio. You can join the membership group, help support the show, the Dead Set Legends Club. Doing this on the, smell of an oily rag. Got to keep the pirate ship afloat somehow. So anything you can, if you want to sign up, help us out, that'd be much appreciated. Anyway, let's get into it with some yeah nahs. Brady P. Love some Brady P. I actually kind of like the idea of the Bulls trading for AD. They're just missing that defensive anchor. If he could stay healthy, or at least healthy-ish, say 50 games a season, it raises the Bulls' ceiling immensely. The asking price is the real concern. If they're happy to take literally anybody but Buzelis, Giddey, and Kobe White, plus 2 firsts, maybe even try to just do one and add the second if the negotiation's still because of the injury history, I'd sign off on it. Also, the stealing center idea about draft picks is excellent. Thank you, Brody P. I love this. Yes, I think the AD addition for the Bulls, if you're not giving up Buzelis, Gids, or Kobe, it just sort of gives them just this extra bit of oomph, a bit of teeth in that defense, right? And it's kind of the thing, we know that they can score. Vooch is a big part of that. If Vooch is in the trade, it gets a little bit sideways, but AD can still score, we know this. It just raises their ceiling defensively, which is kind of the thing that they'll need in the East, because we know they can score. They put them up with everybody. Here we go. Put on AD on that team, away we go. I kind of don't mind it, but the problem is, NBA history is littered with that, oh, we'll add this guy and we'll be right then moves for like dudes who are kind of a bit past it, have a bit of injury history, and then it just never gets good again. And AD, I reckon, is kind of teetering on that edge where it's like, can you be healthy for like 2 months? And he's like, best I can do, Jim, is 6 weeks. I'm like, it's not good enough. Unless it's the playoffs. And even then, that doesn't get me all the way there. So if there's a bit of help, like he's still just young enough where you go, what are we giving up? What's his next contract look like? But if Anthony Davis can be that sort of defensive stalwart for someone like the Bulls, that could really sort of push them. Look, they just need to get above that, like out of that 500 bracket, right? If you've got Giddey, Buzelis, Kobe White, and AD, maybe you've kept Vooch somehow, who knows? Boom. I think that sort of really pushes them in that top 4 in the East, which we'll talk about in a second. But I love that one. Thank you, Brady P. Next up, Danny D. Yeah, the East actually has more depth than the West. He's not wrong so far, I'll tell you that much. Top West teams better than the East, best, but good fun teams runs deeper in the East. That's right. Good and fun teams do run deeper in the East. 11 teams above 500. Brooklyn and Washington, the only real ass teams. West has 8 teams above 500. Bad teams, not Washington, Brooklyn bad, but the Kings, Jazz, Pelicans, Mavs, Clips, and Grizzlies are all not great. Yes, this is exactly right. The East is really, really crazy at the moment. The creamy middle of the East is awesome. Like, they're not all good, but they're all very interesting basketball teams who are at least vaguely confident. Seriously. All the way down to Milwaukee, it's Algonquin for the good land in 11th. You've got 500 teams. Seriously, they're 8-8, and they're in the 11th spot right now, the Bucks. Outside of that, you got Charlotte, which is fun, and then you got this Brooklyn, Indy, Washington triumvirate. Indy will be better, unless they really just go, hang on a second, we should be tanking. What are we doing? We don't want to win. But Brooklyn and Washington are truly arse. And then in the West, by the time you get to like the 10 seed, suddenly you're at like Utah. And then you've got Utah, Memphis, Clippers, Dallas, Sacramento, and the Pels. And above them, you've got a 6-9, nice, Blazers team, who are, I think, pretty good. But down to the 8 spot, you've only got the 500. So, look, Danny D's right. I think the top of the West is better. You look at OKC, Denver, and Houston. Maybe even throw the Lakers in there. Whereas the top of the East, Detroit's an awesome story, but I don't know if Detroit's better than OKC, obviously, Denver, or Houston, or even really the Lakers for that matter, right? The Raptors are awesome at this point. They've won 5 straight. They look great. They're 10-5. The Knicks are 9-5 and just can't sort of get and stay healthy. Losing OG's a real kick in the guts. Cleveland, same sort of vibe, right?
Cleveland!
Like, there's just really competent teams in the East, like all the way down through 11. Some of them are sort of like, everyone's kind of dealing with an injury, it kind of feels like at some point. Whereas the West has got this awesome top tier and then a bunch of sort of scuffling teams in between. And yeah, so the East is deeper of fun and good teams, but the West has the cream of the crop. And then kind of like good teams. Oh, God, what are these teams? So it's a great shout by Danny D. Jez Oz. Hey, Jim Bob. Happy fucking Friday, brother. Got some nahs for you. 1, the reports that LaMelo is frustrated with Charlotte and wants out are kind of ironic, seeing that he's a big part of the reason why they are what they are. Yeah. LaMelo getting upset at Charlotte being shit is like the baby squid being upset that he's taken a dump in his nappy and not his potty. Right? It's like we're all trying to find the guy who did this. It's you. You did this. You're the one who packed your dacks. Like, I didn't do it. Your mum didn't do it. Your older brother didn't do it. It was you. LaMelo being like, oh, but I've got shit in my pants. Like, yeah, because you shit in your pants, you idiot. I like that one. Thank you, Jez. Following that, if there was ever a Sacramento Kings player, LaMelo Ball is it. Yeah, nah. Oh, my God. Now that thought has crossed my mind. Yeah. Yeah, he's like the spiritual successor to like J Will, right? Like we talked about white chocolate earlier, and wow, he's like basically white chocolate but with way more hype and can actually shoot to a degree. So that is a great call. I feel like the most Kings player ever was Jason Thompson, and he will forever be the most Kings player ever. But yeah, LaMelo being on the Kings at some point is very, very, very funny. I feel like Zach LaVine feels very Kingsy too. Yeah. Number 3, the Hawks should trade Young for Larry Markkinen. Yeah, nah. That's like the last thing the Hawks need, I think, is another sort of big. They've already got Jalen Johnson, the extreme zinger meal when he's healthy.
Extreme zinger meal.
And you've got a Onyeka Okongwu. And Zachary Rissachet. Basically got these 4 dudes who are all pretty good. They're all playing those big spots. Larry for trade just completely unbalances that roster. So I'd say nah on that one. The Hawks sort of just need, maybe the ironic part is they need like DeAndre Hunter. Like that sort of 3-ish, 4-ish swing dude. Ricochet is almost too big. It's kind of weird, but anyway. 4, Nico Harrison has single-handedly saved Jason Kidd's job until at least this time next season. Yeah, nah. He really has. Because, like, Nico screwed up so badly. He cops all the blame for the Luka stuff. Jason Kidd being a shit coach is sort of flying under the radar again. He's like, I coached this team to the finals. And it's like, okay, do it again. He's like, oh, no can do, boss. But Jason Kidd also got an extension, remember? So he's now got like this really crazy amount of power with the Mavs. Because, like, what are you going to do, baby Gerber Dumont? Fire me? Sure, go ahead. I'm going to cash those checks for till the end of my days. But yeah, J Kidd is safe for this year, next year as well, basically, to roll with whatever draft pick they end up with Dallas, because they own their pick this year, which is still remarkable, but very smart. And 5, can the Pistons win a chip this year? Yeah, nah. I find it really, really hard to see anybody in the East. I literally just hit on this, right? Beating those top 3 teams in the West feels like a bridge too far for almost everybody as presently constructed right now in the East, right? OKC, Denver, Houston feel just so much far and beyond above like everything else, all these East teams, despite the Detroit basketballing Pistons being on an 11-game winning streak and 13-2. They're awesome, don't get me wrong. As they're currently constructed, yeah, I don't think they'd beat any of those top 3 teams in the finals. nor with the Raptors. I don't know. Like the size of the Raptors is very interesting. Keep an eye on that. The Knicks, maybe. But yeah, I don't know about Detroit. I still feel like, look, it's not fool's gold. They are very good. They play so hard. Their defense is awesome. But it feels like if they got Lauri Markkanen, that raises their stealing dramatically. Him next to Jalen Duran, holy moly. I do wonder what it'll do to that defense, though. Just keep an eye. But that's a good one. Cheers, catch a fear of beer soon, he says. Hell yes. All right, unpopular opinion of the day. Let's do some power rankings.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
All right, week 5 power rankings. Let's do it. We did shorts. We've got a short video of the power rankings with the actual sort of tiers and everything. But for the show, we sort of expanded out a little bit, and just so you sort of know, what's going on, how everything's sort of sitting, what we actually think about these teams in like a longer format. And obviously, like, the bottom tier was dick-punchingly bad, where you'd almost rather punch yourself in the dick than watch these teams. Charlotte don't really belong there, because watching Charlotte is just, I've called them trucker speed basketball, right? It's kind of like that. You've got some terrifying highs and some terrifying lows. But anyway, at the very bottom in 30th, we have the Brooklyn Nets. Like, they are, like, at least Washington has Alexander Sarr and Bub Carrington and just like this weird rotating cast of veterans. So Washington are 29th. So let's talk about these two teams. Brooklyn, you got Michael Porter Jr. and absolutely sweet dick all else. And Michael Porter Jr., as established earlier in this episode, is a giant flying fuckwit. And I do not want to support him in any way, shape, or form. So fuck that guy, right? Let him put up numbers, trade him somewhere else. That's Brooklyn's plan. The problem is Brooklyn and drafting also is kind of their problem. Yegor Demon, so Yegor, and the rest of their rookie crop are fine-ish. But they also are all kind of a bit shit, right? It's very early on. But fuck me, it's really hard to watch Brooklyn basketball. So, yeah, bottom of the barrel. 29, that's the Wiz. Look, they do have like these games where CJ's like, fuck it, we're scoring 150. We're going toe-to-toe with like these teams. And it's kind of fun. But if you were trying to watch these games day-to-day, you'd rather punch yourself in the dick. Pelicans are next up, right, as well. They were on that one. But now, after a couple of changes over the last day or two since I taped that power rankings, I've now got Sacramento in the dick-punchingly bad spot, right? Because they are fucking horrible, and they've just lost Sabonis. Doug Christie doesn't know his ass from his elbow. Zach LaVine's out there. DeRozan's like, what am I doing here? This fucking sucks, mate. And the rest of that team is just so egregiously fucking shithouse that you just can't watch them. They got beaten by the Memphis Hustle by 40. It's fucking embarrassing. So they're in the dick-punchingly bad spot. And then we can sort of jump to like the just bad with a bit of fun thrown in. That's where you sort of get to Charlotte. But you could almost now, to the point where after watching them today, I'm going to move Charlotte up to 26 and the LA Clippers down to 27 in the dick-punchingly bad section. This is an absolute fucking train wreck. Like, James Harden at his absolute best wasn't that much fucking fun to watch, right? With all the flopping and fucking, I don't know, visits to the strip club and just like, go, fuck it, I'm going to get fat until they trade me. Love that vibe. I'm all about that. Don't get me wrong. Look at me. But the Clippers, as presently constructed, are shit. And so this power rankings today, we're sort of looking, would this team beat the next team up on sort of any given night? Maybe on a neutral court, maybe not. But at the moment, the Clippers aren't beating fucking anybody. So they belong in this dick-punchingly bad tier. So I've got them at 27. I'll put Charlotte up into just bad, but like at least they're kind of fun, right? And to be honest, all these just bad teams from 26 onwards, like the Clippers are just depressing, right? They've gone 1-9 this month. They've lost 3 straight. They're 4-11. Kawhi. Has anyone, he's just gone AWOL, right? No one knows what's ailing him. He's just like, I don't want to be here. They're like, well, we're still paying you. He's like, are you? Better speak to my uncle. But the Clippers just fucking flat out suck. Norm Powell was like, the dude who just played, and you're sort of seeing it with Miami as well, right? Norm Powell just plays, and he's good. He scores buckets. He's a professional scorer. That's what he does. And like that's a constant that you can sort of go, right, we know what we're going to get there. Now that you've got this weird fuckiness in the Clippers, Brad Beal's done for the season. They thought they'd bring him in to replace some of that Beal. You know, the Beal could replace Powell's production a little bit. And you spread that money out. You get John Collins and stuff. Brook Lopez comes in. He was cooked 2 years ago. And that's the thing. The Clippers just stink. They flat out fucking stink. And they're so hard to watch. 26 Charlotte. Not as hard to watch. As I said, trucker speed basketball, dizzying highs, terrifying lows. It's all on. You never know what you're going to get. Like LaMelo having a sook, who knows? Con Knipple, he's out there just flashing a little bit of titty and boom. Look at this. He's dropping another 5 threes on your head. That's what he does. He's awesome. Love me some Connie Nips. They're fun. They're crazy, but they are also really fucking bad. Brandon Spindles-Miller might come back soon, but jeez. They've gone, 2-8 in their last 10, lost 4 straight. But like at least if you look, there's point differential differences as well, where it's like, yeah, they're only a minus 3.6 versus someone like Indy who are minus 13, Washington minus 16, Brooklyn minus 11.5, right? When you're minus 3.6, like you're shit, but you're run-of-the-mill sort of shit. New Orleans are next up. Currently 2-13, have lost 7 straight, 2-8 in their last 10, but they do have Zion back. And that makes them a little bit more fun and not dick-punchingly bad, I think. Like they'll win a couple of these games in the next week or two. That'll lift them out of the morass. They need to. They've got professional basketball players on that team. Derek Queen just being good is amazing for them if he just can keep that up. Just saying. New Orleans at 25. 24, I've got Utah. I think Utah are better than all those other teams I've just listed off. They're 5-9. I mean, they're better than most of these other teams. Anyway, Keontae George, Larry Markkinen. There's like now they've got Isaiah Collier back as well. There's just some shit to them. They're going to hang with teams. The big problem will always be their defense. They're a young team, a crazy team. They can put up 140, but they'll give up 143. Like that's kind of their problem. So, but they are kind of like they're just kind of bad, but they're not fucking dick-punchingly bad. And 23, India's the last team in this tier where you saw them get healthy. They've got Benny Mathurin back now. Siakam's still there. You've got Nemhard back. You've got TJ McConnell back. Like you've got an actual NBA basketball team again. Like you're in a 2-13 hole though. So you might want to consider tanking, but by the same token, that team is well coached and probably better than the rest of the teams below them. The tricky part here is there's an entire tier that I listed off, right? That was like injuries suck. And to also sort of rank how good these teams are within this injury suck tier is 22 Dallas, 21 Milwaukee, 20 Memphis, 19 San Antonio. And I think after today, I'd still, with Memphis kicking the crap out of Sacramento, Milwaukee is still good enough, I think, that I would put them ahead of Memphis. So I'm going to swap them. Milwaukee will go to 20, Memphis to 21. And the last team in that injury suck tier is San Antonio. They're in 19. But we just saw them today go, fuck it. Yeah, we don't have Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, or a fucking 7'40" alien named Victor Wembanyama. But we're still okay. We beat Atlanta. We've still got De'Aaron Fox. He's fully armed and operational. Let's go. It's a trap. Like, this is awesome. So they're 19 for the minute, but they quite literally just beat out a bunch of the teams in the next tier, in like Atlanta and stuff like that. So that's the injury suck tier because Dallas is the shittest of those teams. They've just been fucking egregiously horrible. They're 4-12 at the moment. Memphis are 5-11. But I mean, in the way that they handled Sacramento today, you're like, holy shit, with Edey being good and Jock Landale coming off the bench and kicking ass and taking names, if they can just get a little bit of their, like, I don't know, a bit of momentum happening, a little bit of that pride back, who knows what the fuck Memphis can do, but they are also pretty bad. Milwaukee, with Ryan Rollins, with Miles Turner, with Kyle Kuzma, like they've still got some dudes, and same with San Antonio with De'Aaron Fox. So those 4 teams, 19 through 22, are kind of like undetermined, but at the same time, game to game, they could beat the teams above them, but at the same time, I wouldn't expect them to, right? Like San Antonio, I did not pick them against Atlanta today. Atlanta laid an egg. San Antonio just really good. Next up, I've got the lookout tier, which is Portland. I've got them at 18. And like they are fun, but it's weird how important Drew Holiday was to that team, right? Jeremy Grant was out there. I'm winning 6th man of the year. Check this out. Shaden Sharp, Denny Avdija, a.k.a. Denny Utemuster. But they're 6 and 9. Tiago Splitter has taken over from Chauncey Bet the House. They've lost 4 on the trot. That's the problem. The Blazers have got some shit to them, but also they're sort of just... You can almost throw them in the injury sucked here, but they're also a bit like weird, janky, and disjointed. But the lookout. So are they good, they bad? We don't know. The next one now, I'm going to put Golden State in here because they didn't play anybody the other day. They lost to Orlando with their full complement, and then they get beat by Miami as well. They do the Floridia trip. It's really hard to judge Golden State because they've just gone on this massive road trip. They played 7 in 12 days, which is just fucking stupid. Fix this, Adam Silver. I don't want to, Jim. We're making too much money. Did you see our ratings? It's the best in 15 years. Yeah, because you're on fucking NBC, which is an actual proper telly show, like program. Channel. Anyway, Golden State are in the lookout because we're monitoring the situation. They're 9 and 8. They're 5 and 0 at home. They're 4 and 8 on the road, which makes a lot of sense. We've seen them play a shit ton of away games. They've lost 2 on the trot, 5 and 5 in their last 10. Just saying, look out, the Warriors. If they're healthy, I think they're fine, but geez. And the next one in this one is Atlanta. Look out. What's going on here? Just bit concerning today against San Antonio. They should be just that little bit better. And it's just weird how every time the zinger comes back, it just throws a fucking giant Latvian wrench into the fucking thing, right? They've lost 2 on the trot. They're 6 and 4 in their last 10. They're still pretty bloody good. And I feel like they have, of this tier, when they play their best, they look fucking unreal. And they don't have Trae Young. So, yeah, the big question is, what do you do? But, I mean, it's a strange little tier, that one. Very strange one. All right, good adjacent. That's Miami. It's now Philly, Phoenix, and Boston, right? Actually, we'll leave Boston in the fun and good one. So, good adjacent, Miami, Philly, and Phoenix. Because Miami are good, but then sometimes they're a bit shit. They're good adjacent, right? They're 9 and 6. They're 7 and 1 at home. They're looking pretty tight, looking pretty good. Khalil Ware's been fantastic. Davion Mitchell's been solid. They'll get Tyler Hero back at some point. They're good adjacent for the minute. Philly are good adjacent as well. Like, fun and good. They lost that game yesterday, but then beating Milwaukee today was really important to the point where they could go back to fun and good because 54 points on your head from Maxey is fucking awesome. And then Phoenix is in a similar boat, right? Good adjacent where you're sort of looking at the team and you're like, why is this entire situation where the Sixers are 9 and 6, the Suns are 9 and 6, and I feel like both teams are kind of like a little bit of smoke and mirrors, but there's some shit to them, right? Like you've got one awesome guard, you've got Maxey on one team, Booker on the other. You got some cool, like, you know, young dudes running around causing all sorts of havoc on the Suns. And then in Philly, though, you've got Paul George coming back looking okay today. But then the rest of it's just so fucking weirdly up in the air. So I'm going to leave them a good adjacent versus fun and good, whereas Phoenix are verging on fun and good all of a sudden. I want to see it for another week. But anyway, fun and good, Boston in 12. Because remember, these are also like the next team up. I don't know on the given day, would they beat them? But I feel like Boston is better than all the teams I've just listed off below them. Boston, as I said in yesterday's thing, if they hit their threes, they win the game. If Peyton Pritchard hits 5 threes, they win, right? That's kind of just how it rolls. Jaylen Brown has been Jaylen Brown, and it's kind of been this weird thing where it's like, oh, I expected him to like go completely off his head and show us how much of a 1A super duper star he could be in the absence of Jason Tatum, and that has not exactly happened. He's been a little bit better with a bit more usage. The weird thing is Derek White's just been a bit shit. Their defense is like, but like this sort of weird combination that they've got going of like, hey, check out our defense. It's awesome. You're like, how? It's like, it can't all be Jordan Walsh, can it? And then Jordan Walsh is like, fucking maybe. Check this out. Because like, I think their offense, I think is 6th overall. Their defense is 11th. And that's probably better than I thought and expected. So they're fun and good because they're just going to go back and forth. hit a bunch of threes or miss a bunch of threes. But usually they're sort of pretty bloody good, right? That's just what they do. Orlando. Boston's 8-7. Orlando's 9-7. Yes, the Heat have got a better record than both those teams. Same with the Sixers, but Boston's pretty fucking crazy fun and good. Orlando is pretty fucking fun and good as well. Then I've got Chicago, right? So Orlando and Chicago, these two interesting teams where Orlando, they lose, as I mentioned earlier, they lose Paolo. It means Franz goes off. Desmond Bain has got more of a, sort of carved out role. Suggs is suddenly really good again. Their games are fun. I fucking love watching Orlando. Like, you just don't know what's going to happen in each of their games. Not having Paolo and that sort of like crazy, tonight I'm going to drop 38 on your head kind of dude. He just hasn't been that good, which is really disappointing for me, who's heavily invested in him being good. But anyway, Orlando, Boston, boom. And then Chicago at 10th because the Cardiac Bulls. That's just what they do. They're 8-6. They've just had two massive wins. Like, Vooch hitting that 3 to beat Portland was fucking off its head, right? But that Denver win was so crazy that you're just like, yes, sign me up. They play the Miami Heat tomorrow and watch the fuck out. That game is going to be so insane. But I love this Bulls team because they are fun and they are kind of good. They're at above 500. They're 2 games above 500. And I'm saying, if the AD trade happens, the defense can be a little bit better. Who knows what we could see there. Like, defensively at the moment, Chicago are currently in 20th. And on offense, Chicago are currently on 14th. It's just kind of mid. You expect them just to be a little bit better. Get Giddey and Kobe like rolling in the right direction. They might be even better than that. At number nine, still in the fun and good bit. I think I'm going to have to boost these guys up. It was going to be Toronto, but they're now too good. I am going to demote Cleveland because their games are really like the way that they played Houston was pretty fun. They also got their ass kicked. They came all the way back. Their games are entrancing. You've got Donnie Mitchell, DeAndre Hunter, Evan Mobley, go the throw Jared Allen, no Garland, Sam Merrill hurt himself the other day. Their games are pretty fucking crazy. They are very good and they are kind of weirdly fun, right? It's kind of strange. I want Mobley to be even a little bit better. They just need like that big hook. And I don't know what it is, but they are fun and good. So I'm going to leave them at 9. Then we get into the pretty bloody good tier. And that for me is the Knicks at 8 and Minnesota at 7. A couple of Karl Anthony Towns teams, right? The Knicks are pretty bloody good. We understand this. They get Jalen Brunson back the other day, pull out a win out of nowhere against Dallas in the Jalen Brunson Bowl. And look, they're pretty bloody good. And if they were healthy, you'd feel a lot better about them. But missing OG for a little bit of time is going to suck. They are still pretty bloody good. The Knicks, I mean, especially like the fact that Mike Brown is out there, they've got the 3rd best offense. And their defense has actually dropped to 16. I think they'll be fine. I think the defense will tick up and they'll be fine. Minnesota is 7th in this one, right? Because now they've got Ant-Man back. He's just going, fuck it, I'm the point guard. Check this out. And everyone's like, yeah, that's pretty smart, I guess. Defensively, they're 13th. You feel like that could get a bit better too with Rudy Gobert out there. But they're just kind of like, fuck it. Naz Reid's on one tonight. So let's just keep doing that. They've got the 4th best offense in the league right now too, Minnesota. So they're doing some shit right. And they are pretty bloody good. They're kind of like that weird extra sort of strange floater in the West where you're like, oh, if they kick into gear, if they swing a trade, if Rob Dillingham suddenly just fucking wakes up and is good, who knows what could happen there. They're like this sort of wild card almost in the West. 6, I've got Toronto. I said on yesterday's thing, I love Canada. I love democracy. I'm just quoting fucking Star Wars today. They're 10-5. They've won 5 on the trot. They've won 9 of their last 10 games. It's absurd how good they've been. And as I've said from the get-go, I love the sheer fucking size of them, right? Like, you just look across the board and you're like, Jesus, RJ Barrett's big. Scotty Barnes is big. Fucking Brandon Spindles Ingram is big. Teenage Mutant Jakob Poeltl is big. And if you got, like, IQ and shit out there, it's just like, yeah, They can do a lot of different things. They're very malleable. And at home, I sort of said from time to time, like when we're doing our picks, I like them at home. They're only 3-2 at home. They are 7-3 on the road now. But that sort of split, having played 10 games away and 5 at home, and they're 10-5, they're going to be really fucking good. That's why I've got them 6. They're pretty bloody good, this Raptors team. They were like the big riser I think I had in the East pre-season. They're a little bit scuffly out the gate. Now they're pretty fucking good, I'll tell you. Then we get into the last pretty bloody good team. That's the Lakers. The Lakers are pretty bloody good. They got the greatest scoring player in the history of the NBA. He scored all the points. It's LeBron. They just got him back the other day. They already had Luka. Austin Reeves is being absolutely unreal. And it still kind of at times feel like it's put together with like clag and like masking tape, like your fucking grade 1 squids doing an artwork thing. Good words, Jim. But because Luka and Austin Reeves are so good, like it's sort of just tying it all together. Like it's just, they've put some super glue in there somewhere. And you're like, how's this? Oh shit, that actually works. So yeah, like Ayton is just like, this is great. I get to play with LeBron and Luka, and they make me look way better than I am. So yeah, they're pretty bloody good, this Lakers team. Like you look at their point differential, they're only +2.8 and they're 11-4, right? So that's the sort of thing where I go, I don't think they're right in the top echelon right now. And their offense is in 11th. Their defense is all the way down in 17. So it feels like they're the last of that sort of not super duper contendery type ones. And that's why I feel like Minnesota's more of the wild card, more even than the Lakers. Then we get into the top tier. We have the Detroit Basketball Pistons in the really, really bloody good tier. Last tier was pretty bloody good. These are the really bloody good teams. Detroit, without a bunch of their dudes, have still managed to win 11 straight bloody games. That's just insane. Their point differential is only +6.8, but Jalen Duren's taken a step up. He's been absolutely awesome. Cade Cunningham. Who knows if they win the East? He could end up top 4 MVP. Like, he is just absolutely awesome. They're 13-2. Like, defensively, though, like that jump that they've taken to be that good, that dominant defensively. The second, I mean, it's OKC and then it's fucking daylight, but they're the second best defensive team in the NBA. It just makes sense. This is the Detroit Pistons we all fucking grew up with. From the bad boys through the Chauncey, Bet the House Billups, Tayshaun Prince, fucking Rip Hamilton, Wallace's, Pistons and co. Now it's kind of back. I'm kind of here for it, so good on them. Then, still in the really bloody good tier, Houston. So much size, so much length. But when you've got fucking Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith Jr., LP Şengün and Amen Thompson out there with fucking insert somebody here. It's just absurd. When you put Steven Adams out there as well, oh, Brew, we're bigger than everybody, eh? It's like, yes, you are. You're all fucking terrifying, Steven Brew. They're unreal. They're so much fun to watch too. Like, Houston are great fun. Reed Shepherd, Meth Curry. Check it out. And Denver are number 2 because Jokic is awesome. Cam Johnson's doing some shit now. They lose Aaron Gordon in the last game. They go, fuck it. Here's Jonas Valanciunas. Check this out. And it's like, yeah, they're still really good. Jokic, as I said yesterday, wakes up, rolls out of bed, gets a triple-double. Yeah, fuck it, though. Look at the horses too, yes. They're so fucking good. And then OKC are obviously number 1. They're in the absolute standalone fucking terrifying, give them the title now tier by themselves. Because I said before this season, they'll win 70-plus games. Got to the point, I'm like, will they break the Golden State record? Don't know. They've got the best defense, they've got the 5th best offense, and they don't have their 2nd best player. They've missed, like, Chet, Dort, Wiggins, Case and Wallace, all of them, Caruso, they've all missed games, and they've lost one game that they blew and probably still should have won. They're 15-1. They're taking the piss. Oklahoma City. I don't want to give them the title now, but as I've said time and time again, this is a different team. This is a different one to all your other previous title winners, right? Oh, they go in every city. They've got a mark on their back. Everybody's gunning for them. No, people aren't. People don't even realize it. People don't realize how fucking good this team is. They're absolutely insane. They have a 15.4 point differential, which is just, again, off the fucking charts. They're doing it again. oh, they get every team's best shot. No, they don't, because the other teams are just like, oh, fuck, OKC, yeah. Wait, did they win the title last year? Yeah, shit. That's what happens when you're a weird fucking little podunk town like fucking Oklahoma City, right? Instead of my beloved Seattle. No one respects your shit, as good as you are. They'll respect your dominance if you win another title, and then maybe another one. But for the minute, they're sliding under the radar because they're not getting every team's best fucking opportunity. And when they best chance, best shot, and when they do, it doesn't matter because OKC are too fucking good and go, yeah, it's cute. Here's a bunch of fucking no-name dudes you've never heard of. They're going to kick your ass now. SJ is going to sit out another fourth quarter. He's barely playing. It's absurd. They're number one with a fucking bullet. All right, quick Outback Takehouse for today. It's Friday, they're back. You know what that means. 4 for 1 TGIF cans full of icy, cold Foster's Lager. That's right, the all-drum cans are as big as your fucking head. They're also got the wide mouth so you can slam them down fast. Only at Outback. And today's Flame Grilled take is, you should be able to buy your draft picks back. It's this weird, like if the Pacers, who are like, oh, we're so poor. And it's like, well, give us your draft pick. Say the Clippers. And the Pacers are like, oh, fuck, how much are you going to... Or maybe not even your own. Maybe you should be able to buy your own draft picks back once you've traded them away. Yes, it's an unfair advantage for the super rich fucking owners or whatever, who might get a little bit willy-nilly. But maybe you can only buy a pick back like once every couple of years. Or maybe you could just buy a pick from a team and there's like a cap of, right, over a 5-year period, we've got $20 million to buy other draft picks from. Because everyone's sort of talking about this draft and how like, oh, how do we fix the draft process? It's like, maybe if we have other teams that can, you know, spend big to jump back up into the top of it, maybe that'd make it a bit interesting. Just watch the Pelicans sell every pick they have from here on out. Because remember Robert Sarver sold away the pick, basically, that became Rondo and shit like that. Like, I don't know. I feel like if you want to go full open market, like it's weird. America's like, we fucking hate commies, and then you have like built-in socialism in every one of their sports leagues, right? It's pretty funny. It's not market capitalism. Just saying. Just saying, you should be able to buy your draft picks back at like a negotiated price. If the team is like, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. Give us $18 million for this draft pick. That'll help our bottom line this year. If you're the Indiana Pacers, you could be sitting on a gold mine at some point, right? If you've traded a couple of dudes away. OKC, I'm sort of also looking about this from a roster construction point. OKC might have 3 picks this year, and they're like, we don't have room. What the fuck are we going to do? They could sell them, make a bunch of cash. I don't know. Just saying. Right, quick Australian player watch for today. Let's do it. Dyson Daniels in that game against San Antonio. He had 8.6 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 turnovers, 3 steals. That is 68 straight games for Dyson Daniels, the Great Barrier Thief, with a steal. 68. That's 9 away from tying Michael Jordan for the 3rd longest streak ever. Jock Landale had an awesome game, as mentioned. 21 points, 6 rebounds. He went 8 of 9 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3, and 4 of 4 at the free throw line. Pretty bloody good. They were the only Aussies in action today. Good job by them. But yeah, sucks about Dante, doesn't it? Breaks your bloody heart. All right, quick Andrew Gay's Grey MAMBA Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence. It's the first annual
Andrew Gay's Grey MAMBA
Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence. Tyrese Maxey had 54 points today. That is a career high. He also had 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks, and made 6 threes. No other player in NBA history has hit all of those numbers in a single game. 54 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks, and 6 made threes. It's pretty good. Tyrese Maxey is awesome. There's, 4 players now with 3 or more 40-point games this season. It is Luka, Larry Markkinen, Steph Curry, and now Tyrese Maxey. Bloody hell. Not bad. All right, Paddy Mills Game Day, Baller Game Day Twitter check-in before we do the NBA Cup preview. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. What's Paddy been up to? There's like lots of Paddy updates, which is good. Looks like he's having a lot of fun in Hawaii, doesn't it? You guys want to see the 1% of the 1%? It's just Patty just shooting. All right, now when we talk about Patty Mills, I always say the 1% of the 1%. What does that mean? I say the NBA equals 1% of the Earth. There's another 1% in the NBA is Patty Mills. That's the individual. It's pretty good. And then it goes on and on and on. That's a good one. Go check it out. He's just shooting the piss out of it. It's so good. All right, let's do some game previews for tomorrow. Game previews. And we'll do Sunday as well. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Wait a minute. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Jim, you got mixed up about who was Bane. Yeah, tell me about it. Happens all the time. We have a big NBA Cup slate tomorrow, which is very exciting and very fun. Because these games, I mean, when it comes to picks, right? I sort of hit on this last week. When the teams are shit pumping a team in the NBA Cup games, they do not relent, right? So if they're fucking killing a team, they will keep killing that team because point differential matters in the NBA Cup. Obviously, so does standings. Do you have a crack left in the round robin? Shit, I still think the round robin stuff is fucking stupid. We should just do single elimination, whatever. But we have some fun ones tomorrow. Indy at Cleveland. Now, do you, like, this is the classic case. This is a really interesting one because do you think Cleveland are going to kick the shit out of Indy tomorrow? If you do, you'd take Cleveland minus 13.5 because they would presumably kick the shit out of Indy and continue to kick the shit out of Indy. Indy's big man situation is a bit fucking terrifying. And Cleveland do have a couple of pretty handy bigs. I think Indy with Benny Mathurin back, Andy Nemhard, Pascal Siakam, I think they can keep this under the 13.5. So I'm going to take Indy plus 13.5 in that one. For the simple fact, like, it's a big number. Cleveland could run away with it, but by the same token, if they don't have Garland, Merrill, and co, I feel like Allen Mobley might dominate. Donnie Mitchell might get loose, but I kind of feel like Indy are good enough to keep that one close. So let's go Indy in that first one. Then we have Washington, Toronto. This is the flip side. Washington are actually shithouse and Toronto are actually good. And Toronto are at home. This is another 13.5 point line. This time I'm going to go Toronto minus 13.5 because they could win this by 40. All right, Toronto, I've got like a bunch of dudes who if they get on one, they stay on one. Washington, maybe not so much. That's 13.5. It's actually 12.5 now, so I'm definitely taking Toronto on that one. 12.5 for Toronto. Washington, God bless their cotton socks. They just, when they get whooped, they just stay whooped. Yeah. Brooklyn and Boston, again, another one. Boston are 15.5 point favorites. This is in Boston. We saw Boston, basically sort of fuck around, but still eventually kick Brooklyn's ass the other day. It took them until the fourth quarter to sort of really stretch out that lead, but they did. At home, I think they sink the boot in and, win this one pretty handily. They'll hit those threes. Brooklyn's defense is a fucking horror show. I'm going to go Boston minus 15.5 in that. Then we've got the great one. Miami at Chicago. How good is this? Chicago finally get home after this big, long road trip. You got Vooch hitting game-winning threes. You got them beating Denver in Denver, losing to Utah in double overtime. Then they host Miami, who have been really fucking good. The Bulls are 2.5 point favorites. I think I'm still going to go the Bulls. I kind of think they can hang with Miami to the point where if they get it, like the over-under in this one is like 249. Not much defense being played here, they reckon. Miami's D's okay, but I feel like Chicago, Gids has been good. He had a bit of a crummy game last time. If he has a half-decent game against this Miami team, they win by a bit. So I'm going to go Chicago because I feel like in Giddey I trust at this point. Kobe White has been awesome coming off the bench. Buzelis, Vooch, even Patch Williams and Jalen Smith and co have been really good. I think I trust the Bulls a little bit more than Miami, especially on the road. New Orleans in Dallas. Oh boy, you got Zion back. The Mavs are 3.5 point favorites at home. After getting dogged by the refs and losing to the Knicks, I'm going to take the Pelicans. Cooper Flagg coming back after his illness, maybe. I still just don't know if I like it. I'm going to take the Pels. With Zion back, I think they can keep this close, and I'm going to take the points, the plus 3.5. Houston host Denver. How good is this? NBA Cup, sign me up. Houston, 2.5-point favorites. I'm going to take the Rockets. I think the perimeter size and everything is going to be a little bit of an iffy one for Denver. If Aaron Gordon's good to go, they've got a little bit more of a shot. But just think about this. Jam and Jamal Murray. They don't have Christian Brown for the minute too either. But Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic. We saw Strother, Peyton Watson. Peyton Watson went off the other day, right? I just trust Houston's size, length, and everything a little bit more, especially at home against Denver. I'm going to take the Rockets. Minnesota and Phoenix, also a pretty fun one. Ant-Man versus Booker. I trust Minnesota a little bit more than I do Phoenix. They're 2.5-point favorites. I'm going to go the Wolves. Phoenix have been a fun story. I think Minnesota are just really rounding into shape. Of course, that's usually when they get you and kick you in the guts, but otherwise, I'm going to take the Wolves. Portland and Golden State. This is a big one for the Blazers. God, they need to win this game, I'll tell you. The Warriors coming home after a big, long road trip. Obviously, I think they're still going to be a bit gassed. I'm going to take Portland plus 7.5 because I think they can hang with Golden State. I'm getting a little bit worried about them. But for the minute, I think they're okay. Let's have a look at the standings. Where are Portland in this West Group? What is it, B? No. Where are they? West Group A. No. There they are. West Group C. Both these teams are 1-1. So, they beat Denver, did Portland. They lost to Houston. Now they play in Golden State. I'll take Portland plus 7.5. Then we finish off with the final game of the NBA Cup tomorrow. OKC at Utah. OKC minus 15.5. This is another one of those ones where it's like if they start kicking their ass, they will continue to kick said ass. And OKC love to kick some ass. Like that's literally their point differential, 15.5. Sunday's games, we've got the Clippers at Charlotte. Do the Clippers drop this? I say fuck yes. We're going Charlotte. I love this Hornets team. Knicks and Orlando. Whoa, boy. Let's go the Magic. I think they're a little bit fucking just hitting a nice little groove at the moment. Atlanta in New Orleans. I think the Pelicans can win that. Wait, no. The Hawks can win that. What's that? DeJounte Murray Bowl. That's fun. I'm going to go the Hawks. Washington in Chicago. The Bulls are at home back-to-back. I think they'll be too good for Washington anyway. Detroit at Milwaukee. That is awesome. Dennis Jenkins versus Ryan Rollins. I'm going to go Detroit. Keep the good times rolling. Memphis in Dallas. Surely the Mavs get a win over the Memphis Hustle. Surely? Don't call me Shirley. I'll take the Mavs. And Denver will beat Sacramento. And then we'll do a... actually, I'm going to have to do a show on Monday again because I've got a gig again on Sunday night. Going to Punk Rock Factory, which is pretty fun. So we'll be back there for Monday. So check Dabble for all of Monday's picks and everything like that. But of course, you can find all of our picks over at Dabble. Use the code NBA Straya when you sign up. There's a link in our show description each day or in our social bios. If you want to go sign up, go check it out. Tell them we sent you. Use the code NBA Straya. Follow along with all of our picks. Doing pretty well. What are we? 57% again. We crushed it today. Apart from Atlanta, I think we hit all the other ones. Yeah, we got Orlando, Memphis, and Philly correct. So pretty bloody good. We're at 57.3% for the year against the spread. You'll be guilty. So there you go. Is that it? That is it for the week. Nothing at the end of this one because we're already running a bit late, a bit long. So that's it. We'll be back on Monday to wrap up a weekend for you because, yeah, with a gig on Sunday night, it's a bit hard to me to tape during the Arvo when there's still games going on and shit like that. It's a bit pointless. I'll do it Monday morning and then get that out early for you so you can check that out. Make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, YouTube, and TikTok as well. Got a bunch of stuff that goes up there. Jump in the comments, say good day. Just give him a watch. Help a brother out. Speaking of which, you can also help a brother out by going to buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. You can shout us a coffee, shout us a beer. You can do it every month as well if you sign up to the membership tier, which is the Dead Set Legends Club, where you buy me a beer every month. And you also get exclusive shows, exclusive posts and shit like that. And yeah, working on a Dante Exum post for that, so check that out. buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. Get around NFL Straya as well with myself and Gaz going to his birthday tonight. That should be pretty fun. A few tins, tell you what. And Jim does Supercoach, top 1% in both NFL and NBA Supercoach at the moment. NFL Supercoach might take a bit of a dip this week after Josh Allen was shithouse today. Oh boy. NBA Supercoach as well. Man, all these injuries are fucking killing teams, huh? Giannis sitting out was brutal. Me going James Harden over Tyrese Maxey, I done fucked that one up. fucking fat man hoop LA Clan. He was still pretty good today, but still. Anyway, go check out Jim Does Supercoach if that's your vibe. Rate, review, star, subscribe, all that good stuff across all of your podcast apps, whichever one you use to listen to the show. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song, They Rule. So do the House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinator, Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Section Green, and Dozers. They're one of the tunes you hear on the show. Smash them on your streaming platform of choice or buy their shit from them. That's it. All right. Have a great weekend, you dickheads. We will catch you on Monday. This is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would ya? And later, hoses.